Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 215 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. It's Technique Tuesday, and today we'll be talking about the basic stance in table tennis. In the questions, we talk about practicing your third ball, improving out blocking, and whether to buy an indoor or an outdoor table. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And yes, interesting show again today. And on this day, Jeffrey, we'll go straight into it.
Absolutely.
Very, very exciting, because we do talk about this a little bit every now and then. We talk about Groundhog Day. So yes. So the tradition of Groundhog Day started in 1887 in North America. So there you go, Groundhog Day.
Wow. And so that tradition is they get the groundhog out or something and tells whether there's going to be more winter or not, something like that.
That's right. Yeah. So the groundhog comes out, and whether so if there's sunshine, I don't know, sunshine on it or something. But the movie's great.
The movie's great, isn't it? Yeah, because in the movie, he wakes up every day and it's Groundhog Day again and again and again.
And you know what a movie buff I am. That's right. You know what a movie buff I am.
Alois never remembers if he's seen a movie or not, people. But anyway, that's very interesting. I'm glad. Hopefully it's not Groundhog Day today. It is Groundhog Day today.
It is. That's right. It is Groundhog Day today. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not going to happen again and again and again. Anyway.
It could be a good day, though, Jeff.
That's right. It could be a very good day. Now, Alois, the last PingSkills question of the day, you're pretty excited about this because you love this Lehigh table tennis. And it was, should there be an international Lehigh table tennis league? But people didn't seem to love it as much as you.
Jeff, I'm devastated. I saw this Lehigh and I loved it. Like, it's so entertaining where, one person is back there, chopping, and another one's hitting, and it's just beautiful, pure table tennis. And like, we had 2 responses.
It's like, people just going down and watching some handball at the local primary school. They don't quite like the serve, dislike it, catch it, The rally doesn't get started for 5 minutes because they're too busy disliking the return they get.
Jeff, it was like 2 or 3. They just go bang, no, don't like it, bang, don't like it, bang. And then they're into it and they're beautiful chopping and hitting. And Lehigh, guys, get onto it. I love it.
No. I mean, we've just had the German Open. Look at that final. Samsonov, Ma Long. I mean, such beautiful power table tennis versus the, Ma Long, the power, the elegance of Samsonov. I mean, there's just no comparison.
Yeah, no, Ma Long, Samsonov is great too, but Lehigh, come on.
All right. So, yeah, don't feel bad that you didn't answer that PingSkills the question of the day. Alois just, I don't know. Anyway, today we need you to answer the PingSkills question of the day because it's a good one and we need some help with it. It is, how do you overcome bad form? So jump on our Facebook page and let us know, or go to the PingSkills blog at pingskills.com and tell us, how do you overcome bad form?
If you're playing Lehigh, what you need to do is you need to just be a little bit more consistent.
You can stop listening to him now. All right. But this may apply to Lehigh table tennis or to, the proper game, Alois. It's Technique Tuesday, and today we're talking about the basic stance in table tennis. Tell us about this.
Yes, so the basic stance is really important. So what you need to be really focused on is making sure that you're down nice and low. So I see a lot of players, especially when they're starting, standing up a little bit too high. So they're standing up too high. And if you're standing too high and tall and with your feet narrow, it's difficult to move, and it's difficult to then balance yourself, especially if you need to move quickly. or even if the ball just comes there and you're trying to play your shot. So the basic stance is so crucial. Get your feet wider, get your knees bent, and get down really low. To start with, you can't get down low enough. Just get down as low as you possibly can, and feel ridiculous. And you'll be starting to get into a position that is just about right for you to start to play some table tennis. The legs are crucial. In all your strokes in table tennis, you need to be down low to start to utilize your legs. So, we often say for me, the most important muscles in your body are your leg muscles, because that's what gets you around. That's what stabilizes you and balances you to play your shots. So by getting down low, you're starting to engage those the quadricep muscles, and you're starting to be able to balance yourself much better. So the basic stance, absolutely crucial. Must do it well to start to play table tennis better.
All right. So everybody get down low. But when you say get down low, you don't mean just kind of bend your knees. You mean get your feet wider, which will bring you down. Maybe even wider than your shoulders.
Absolutely. So this is me standing in my normal position. So now I'm going to get my feet nice and wide, and look, I'm now down this low, and that's actually a good position for me to be playing my shots in. So I've gone from here to here just by getting my feet out wider and bending my knees to get into position.
All right. So everybody, next time you go out on the table, just check your basic stance. Make sure you are down low. Really, really important.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeff. The other thing that players often ask me about as well is, where do you stand in relation to the table with your basic stance? And I think that's important too. So when you're positioning yourself at the table, to start with, just somewhere where you can just touch the table is a good position. So you don't want to be too far away where you can't touch the table, and you certainly don't want to be too close, because then if they serve it long at you here, then it's going to be difficult. So from this position where you just comfortably can touch the table when you're in your basic stance is ideal, because then you can reach the short ball, you can move back and reach the longer ball just with one step. So that's your distance. And then when we think about where we need to position ourselves across the table is also important. So we don't want to stand all the way over here, obviously, because then your backhand becomes too difficult, and you don't want to position yourself too far over on your backhand corner, because then your forehand becomes difficult. So as a guide, when you're in your basic position, your basic stance, if you can just put your bat, the edge of your bat, on the middle line. So when you're doing that, you can then move to both sides equally easily. So yeah, you don't want to position yourself where the line is in the middle of your body, because your reach on this side is less than your reach on the forehand side. So position yourself where that bat is on the middle line. So there's some ideas for you, and see if you can start to position yourself well. Make sure you're down in that nice low ready position as well.
Yeah, excellent guide there, Alois. And I guess people can just adjust that slightly as they learn more about their own game, but it's a good starting point.
Yeah.
All righty.
Yeah,
well, let's
if I can, one more thing. So again, we get asked this quite a bit as well. So the other thing is just your rotation to the table, and you reminded me of that there as well, Jeff. So if you're more of a forehand oriented player, then you can turn yourself slightly this way. If you're a little bit more of a backhand player, you can be really square on, or a little bit to the backhand side. But often I get people say, "Oh, my forehand's good, but I can't play." My backhand's good, but I can't play forehands. And often that will just be because you're either too square to the table this way, or you might be turned this way towards your backhand, which makes it easier for your backhand. So by just adjusting your feet slightly around to the forehand position, then it opens up the possibility of playing forehands, and vice versa. So also just consider your rotation at the table as well. So yeah, sorry, I just thought of that one as well.
It's a good point. And I guess when you watch people, Alice, you can pick that up pretty quickly. And so, yeah, this just brings me on another point. Alois, our premium members can send us videos of them playing their games. So, or, practicing. So if you're a premium member and you haven't sent a video in yet, film yourself, send it in, and we'll give you some feedback. It's really helpful for us to help you, and hopefully you'll get a lot out of it too. All righty, let's move on to the questions, Alois. And first up, Ilya, using the Google Q&A app, has asked, when I practice third ball attack from my forehand, I can loop the ball with good pace. But when I play third ball attack from anywhere, I cannot force the pace. I can consistently open up softly, but I feel extremely awkward when I try to add power. Do you have any help?
Yeah. So this, I think here earlier, it will be just about being able to react quickly enough to get yourself into position. So if you know the ball's coming to your forehand, as you said, you can you're playing with plenty of power. So you're here, you know the ball's coming here, you're preparing, you're turning, and then you're able to generate that pace. When you're not sure where the ball's coming, perhaps you're not getting back into that position to be able to generate enough speed. So one, it's about practicing that drill a lot more. So practice doing the third ball where they're pushing the ball anywhere. This will help you to start to track the ball better and to read a little bit earlier where that ball's coming to, which side the ball's coming to. So by doing that, so by seeing where the ball's coming a little bit earlier, you can get better preparation. You're here, you're back, and you can generate more speed. So here you can rotate and generate more speed. When you're close to the table, don't try to turn your feet too much this way or that way because you won't have time. Really focus on the rotation of your upper body. So here, quickly twist back and forward, or back and forward here. So you haven't got time to move your feet around too much. So just focus on that rotation, and that will help you to generate more power as well with the third ball.
Yeah, good answer. I mean, it seems like, yeah, if you can play a good, powerful forehand from the forehand side, then as Alois said, it's most likely you just need to get in the right position. But sometimes I've also seen, Alois, some people are like comfortable playing the forehand from the forehand side because they've practiced that a lot. But when they come around to the backhand, it seems like they're concerned about the angle, but they seem to play the stroke differently from that different position. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, and I think again, players tend to have areas that they like to play from, and they tend to practice that more and more. It's important to just branch out as well. Just start to experiment. Hitting a forehand from the forehand corner can feel quite different to hitting a forehand from the backhand corner. It can also feel different to hit the ball down the line or cross court. So just start to explore all of those possibilities in your training. Vary the positioning of your topspin, vary the positioning of where you're playing your shot from, and that will really broaden your game as well.
Yep, excellent. All right, great question, Ilya.
Jeff, I'm interested in you reading the next question.
I'm sure you are. Victory has said, I just watched the Ominoiadam Hadjivazalu video.
Yes.
And it's hilarious. You should re-watch it. And yes, he's right. You should re-watch it. So we will, as always, put a link in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Good one, Victor. Seriously, if you haven't seen it, go to the blog, check out the show notes, and watch it. You won't be able to not laugh, promise you. All right. Next question's from Tam. He says, "Hi, Alois. Should I always flick a side spin backspin serve with my forehand backhand and only touch pure backspin serves? Because when I try to touch a side spin backspin serve, it's hard to control most of the time and goes high."
Yeah. You need to have both options. So with the side spin, backspin, so it's good to be able to flick it, but it's also good to be able to push that ball short, and you can do that. So especially if there's side spin with backspin, then then you can push that ball back, especially at club level. I see a lot of players just trying to flick every return, and it's often not effective because the flick just isn't strong enough yet. And when you're not flicking fast, so if they serve the side spin, backspin, the ball comes there and I just roll the ball back basically, then all it's doing is opening up the attack for my opponent. So my opponent then is ready and can just come in and play a strong shot. So in that situation, you're much better to be able to touch that ball short and keep it low and short over the net, stop your opponent from making the attack. But having said that, you can flick that side spin ball as well, but you need to develop flicking it faster and stronger into better positions as well in a game situation. So develop the ability to do both, because then you're less predictable, and it opens up different possibilities in the rally. So if for example you're a better rally player than the other person, then yeah, just a flick is good, because then it gets you into that open rally. If you're better at making the first attack and you can keep that ball short with a short push, then that's better for you, because then they're going to push the ball along and you make that first attack at them. So tailor it to your own game, but yeah, don't just think, oh, I've got to flick every ball because I'm attacking, because if it's a weak attack, then it's not that effective.
Yeah, good point. And so yeah, Tanner's having trouble with that one and pushing it high. I guess it's just a matter of practice to get the backspin ball lower.
Yeah, and maybe Tam, you might just be misreading it slightly as well. Maybe there's a little bit more top on it than you're thinking, and you're just not seeing that because of the side spin. So but adjusting. So even if it's got top, you can just come down on the ball and come underneath it, come down on the ball to make sure it doesn't fly up. If you have your bat at that angle and it's got a little bit of topspin on it, yes, it will go up higher. So just turn your bat down and come down on that push.
All right. Excellent. Hopefully that helps you out, Tam. Good luck improving that return of serve. Next up, Matthew says, I am having difficulty with my defense. My offense is good. I can't seem to get better at blocking because my partner doesn't hit fast topspins, so I don't block anything. What should I do? If it is possible, how do I block a slower hit?
Yeah, so the slower hits can be trickier sometimes, and that's why we looking at it from the other side. That's why when we talk about our forehand topspin or backhand topspin, it's sometimes good to play a slower topspin. You know, like it's not always about playing the fastest topspin you can. So, how do we block that slower ball? The first thing is to make sure that you're getting that ball at the top of the bounce. So if you're letting the ball drop and it's slow, then you've got to generate all the speed yourself, and it's a little bit more difficult because the ball's lower. So make sure the ball is at the peak of the bounce. And then you need to generate the speed by going forward with your block. So don't just put your bat at the ball, because the ball will drop off because there's not enough speed. So you need to push forward on that ball on the backhand block or on the forehand block as well to generate the power. If you feel confident, you can also then start to think about counter spinning the ball as well. So there are different options, or even punching the ball. So we've got a video on how to counter a slow spinny topspin. So I think that's relevant here as well. So whether it's got a lot of spin or whether it's hasn't got much spin, if it's slower, you can punch the ball as well, or counter spin the ball if you're in good position. Otherwise, if you just want to push forward on that block, then you'll be able to get that effective block as well.
Excellent. All right. I'll put a link in the show notes to that, how to return or how to counter a slow spinny topspin. And on a similar note, Victory says, how do I block a power loop into my backhand area? I have a weak backhand and I can't return the ball. Help.
Yeah. So often that's about watching the ball well first. So by watching the ball, we've got a little bit more time to react and to get our bat into position. And if it's fast, you don't. It's the contra of what we were just talking about. You don't need to push that bat forward a lot. You can basically just let the ball hit your racket and use the angle of your racket to get that ball onto the table. So often with the faster topspin, people tend to panic a bit as well. So they see that faster ball and they do that and they tighten up. If you can, just focus on relaxing and just let the bat do the work. And the best way to get to that stage is to get someone to keep top spinning fast at you. It's just your brain adjusting to the speed of that ball. So the first time we see something coming that fast at us, we panic. Yeah, but the more times we see it, we start to relax a little bit more, and then we see it a bit clearer and we see it a bit earlier. So if you can get someone to fire some balls at you fast, like even some faster multi-balls, so get someone to just top spin some balls at you with multi-ball really fast, you'll start to be a little bit more relaxed at that pace.
Excellent advice. Okay, good luck with that block. Victory. Okay, now moving on to Gurav's question. He says, I'm planning to buy a table for playing outside, but under the canopy, but I can store it indoors. So I've got two options. One is the indoor with regular wood top of 25 millimeters, and the other is an outdoor with 12 millimeter compreg wood top. He says, I'm confused. Please advise.
Gaurav, go the indoor table. The outdoor tables are getting better with their bounce, but if you've got that option of storing it inside, go with the indoor tables. They're a much better bounce. They're a much better quality in general. And I suppose the really important part is, though, that you need to make sure you store it inside. If you leave it outside, it gets wet or even just damp, and the water can get into the wood. That's the biggest threat. So if you're playing outside and it isn't in the sun because you've got it under the canopy, pack it up, store it away. That'll be good. But yeah, definitely go the indoor table. Much better bounce.
Excellent advice. Hopefully that helps you out, Gaurav. Yeah, so I guess those outdoor tables are better when they're going to be exposed to the weather. Alrighty. Thank you, everybody. That wraps up episode 215. Great questions again. Thanks for watching. Make sure you visit pingskills.com. And as always, thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeff. And just get out there and have a look at that Lehar. It's beautiful, beautiful Lehar.